Welcome to our summer reading craft week 2. Today we are going to make a very special drink umbrella wreath with a pool noodle. I had a lot of fun doing this, so I hope you will too. We're going to give you just a moment here and we're going to get started. So the first thing you're going to do, and this is going to take the longest, is opening up all of your umbrellas. This is probably for you the hardest part of this project is taking out all of the umbrellas or opening them all up. There's always a little rubber band on the stick that you can push right up. You might have to do a little readjustment. That's okay. And if it doesn't pop the whole way, like sometimes they get a little stretched out, I think, it's okay because when we put them on the pool noodle, that's going to be, it's going to be good. Okay. Now, the one thing I am going to ask you to do is they all come with these little tiny, it's not really a rubber band, it's more just like a plastic ring. If you put them on your scissors, you can cut through them before disposing of them. That way you don't have to worry about wildlife finding them in the trash and having to feel guilty for all of that. And if you don't feel guilty for that, awesome for you. My brain, it works super fast. Okay. I have actually done the hardest part for you. When you come get this, you should get a pool noodle ring. This is not easy. Okay? I watched tutorials, I watched videos, I read instructions. They said you can use a heat gun to melt it and weld them. No, my heat gun, I don't know if it didn't get hot enough or got too hot. All it did is melt the plastic. You can actually see right here, it got close to the pool noodle and melted it just a hair. And I was just like, oh. So then I tried hot glue. Hot glue will not hold it. There's too much outward pressure. The pool noodle wants to be straight, and we want it to be round. That's why you're never going to get a perfect circle without probably trying to alter it in some way. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. So we tried E6000. E6000 glue did not work. And that was a disappointment because you know how much I love me some E6000. So packing tape it is. You can also use duct tape. The only drawback to this method is now we've got a whole area on your wreath that you can't really stick these. Okay? Can't really stick your cocktail umbrellas because plus I don't really want to break this. If you decide to try this on your own, I'm going to give you a tip. You're going to use 2 pieces of tape to start with. You're going to do one diagonally this way and diagonally this way, and then on the inside you're going to do the same thing. So they're not holding straight. You're creating torque in that tape, and that's going to help keep everything together, and then wrap a little tape around the outside to make sure that they don't peel off. Yeah, pool noodles want to be straight. They don't want to be round, and believe me, they make your life hard. Okay, then you're going to take your Monstera leaf lei. Okay? And I found the easiest way for me to do this is to wrap it around. And then I've got these 2 ends. And this is where you get your little pineapple ribbon. Okay? Through one hoop, through the other end. Pull these guys in. And I'm going to tie a knot. Okay? I'm not going to just leave it here. I'm going to go ahead and tie a full knot. As close to the middle of my ribbon as I can. And it's not going to be super tight either. You don't have to pull as tight as you can. And I'm going to take 1 loop, 2 loop. I learned this trick on Oprah back in the 90s. Take 2 loops, wrap them around each other. One goes under and through, and you pull it tight. And you have a nice ribbon bow. Okay. Now, because we tied in a knot down here, when we hang it up, we don't have to worry about our bow pulling out. And we have a pretty nice area up here that's covered in foliage. And you've got a nice little door hanger right there. I would always start with this. Then you know what your boundaries are. Okay, so you know that you're only covering the rest of it with these guys. And now the fun part, because now you get to be stabby. Stabby! Now keep in mind, they will come out the back. Now in this case, this one doesn't want to because there's a piece of tape under there. That is okay. I'm not going to be upset about that. Okay. And yeah, we can pull some of the monstera leaves out of the way, but we want to have as much noodle coverage as possible. Okay. Now you can plan your little guys as much as you want. You don't have to. I'm playing the part of a pantser today. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, putting them on where I think they're going to look good. Okay. You can put them at different jaunty angles. Now you will also notice now we have become a hazard to ourselves and others, okay? You don't want to be a hazard. So come back. I would recommend if you don't have pruning scissors or pruning shears or anything hand holdable. See, I've got my little nippers. You know, I love my little nippers. I would say toenail cutters, the bigger ones, would probably work for this as well. Okay, that's leverage. Now they are going to go flying. That first one flew halfway across the room. But now it's going to be safe. I am less likely to become injured when it's time to hang this up on the door. Plus, it's not going to damage my door. Yeah. I like to wait until the very end to do that part, but I wanted to show you now while I was thinking about it. So then you just come and put your umbrellas on. I like these little guys, these little greenies. I'm going to actually put him in a different spot. Yeah, when I say it took probably 15, 20 minutes to open up all these umbrellas, I am not exaggerating very much. I'm going to wait. That one needs to have a little more coverage down here. And then I'm going to stick him in just as a highlight. We have such a nice variety of umbrellas. I believe you can get them at the dollar store. I bought these on Amazon because then I could buy in bulk. And again, this is part of our Pride celebration. We're going to have rainbows all throughout June, something multicolored, something just to bring a little light and a little joy into our lives. Okay. Oops. I don't like to have the same ones together. So that's what I have. I like colors, different flowers. We have two different kinds of flowers. We have these ones that don't have any color in the middle, and then we have these guys that have little highlights, so they look more flower-like. But I like the variety of the two of them together. Let's see. Now what's happening is I'm covering all the visible angles. Okay. That means I will have to be careful when I come back to trim off all my little sticks. And yes, some of these are longer than others. See that guy? That wants to be, oops. So if you don't like these, I would say you can look on Amazon and you can find so many different kinds of cocktail umbrellas that will work for your project. Okay. Now, when we're all done with this, I'm going to have to stand up. So you're going to have a weird elevated camera thing. We're not there yet. This goes surprisingly quickly. And if you start putting them in and you don't like it, take them out. The other wreath I made at least 4 different times before I got it into a state that I actually was happy with it. Okay. The nice thing is if you don't like these umbrellas, but you want to get it out on your porch, you can pull them out. You can order the ones that you want, replace them, and put it back out on your porch. And see about this guy. I want him to be over the top. And I keep having to move him out of the way because I have the attention span of a frog today. Why a frog? I don't know. So I was going back and watching old videos. And it's funny because you can see the progression of my tattoos. and how they've all been added periodically. Look at that guy. Isn't that pretty? I like these little traditional ones with the little flowers on them. And I like these little leaf ones too. Though I think these are my favorite little accents because they look like real palm trees. Yeah, for a cocktail umbrella. Whoops. I hit you. Sorry about that, guys. Oops. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize the action had moved far away. So, like I said, this is fun. This is pretty easy. And all you're doing is covering as much of your noodle as possible with these wonderful little cocktail umbrellas. This is super lightweight, so if there is a big windstorm, you might want to consider bringing this in so that it doesn't end up in your neighbor's house. Okay. Now you should have more than enough umbrellas to cover all this ground. And then I rearrange my monstera to cover up the tape part. And nobody's even going to really notice it anyway. So here's my little hanger. We ended up with quite a few left over. That's okay. I will say this that I'm using as a demonstration is slightly smaller than the rings that you guys are going to have. Because like I said, it melted the plastic. I was able to cut it. If you are going to cut pool noodles down, use a serrated knife. It works wonderfully and it goes very quickly. So here is our cocktail umbrella wreath. Hang on here a second, guys. I'm going to lift you up a little bit so you can see. Look at this. You're going to have to go over the ring light. Look at that. It's big. It's going to be on display here at the library on the Pride display. So I hope you'll come in and see it and take a look at all of our other items that we have. We have so much cool stuff right now. Turn it over and pretend you're getting porcupine quills, I guess. No, I don't know if you've ever watched that episode of Dr. Pole. This dog bit a porcupine. They pulled out all the quills, and he came back the next day because he bit the same porcupine again. He was a very pretty dog. Okay, so after you make it safe, you could also probably snap these off, but I'm not. I'd rather clip them so then you end up with dull edges and they're less likely to get slivers. Okay. That one hit me. Wear safety glasses if you're doing this, guys. I'm wearing regular glasses. You're also welcome to live life on the edge if you really want to and just leave all the space, but I wouldn't do that. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for coming to our two summer reading. We'll see you all next week with one more craft. All right, have a good one. Thanks.